Good Monday evening, everybody. How are you all doing? Hoping for the best for my voice to hold out tonight. It's been in and out all day, but that's really nothing new for me. I want to welcome you to DMQ with Kathy. We're going to be looking at some really awesome templates tonight, and I'm going to show you one of the quilts that I made with them. But first, I want to say hello to all my friends out there. Carla from Oklahoma City, and Pam is here from Maine. And Linda, my friend from Ravenna, New York. Debbie's here from Bloomington, Illinois. And Lisa from Sugar Land, Texas. Jan, my friend, is here from Southeast Nebraska. And Regina, hi, my friend. It's been a while. So good to see you. Betty is coming to us from Jersey. And Lee, welcome from Indiana. Charlene's here from Colorado. We have the whole crew here today. Well, we don't have all the crew here tonight, but we have some of the crew here tonight so far. But it's early yet. We can get everybody coming in a while. So, Joey, hello from Southern California, and Allison from Southwest Florida. I don't know how you guys are doing down in the South down there, but it's definitely cooling off up here. We've had frost on the pumpkin for a couple of nights now, and don't really expect it to get any better, but that's okay. It's a beautiful time of year where the colors change, and everybody comes up here to see the colors. Deb, hi. Made it on time from the Finger Lakes. Rain and wind all day today. You know what, Deb? We've had really, really high winds here too. I mean, we always have winds, but they have been really crazy. My girlfriend clocked 22 miles an hour. And Janice, hi from Maine. Good to see you. So good to see you. So let's take a look. I got cameras working like crazy tonight. It's been a little cooler, much appreciated. Allison, I get it. Okay, so I'm going to just switch over cameras here, and they are all working. And here is the first thing I have to show you. I'm going to go ahead and take this light off because I think it works better without it. There we go. Oh, Regina says it was 40 degrees this morning in the North Georgia mountains. Hi, Monica from Durand, Illinois. And you know what, Regina, that's getting chilly. That's definitely getting chilly. I'm not really sure what we're expecting. Actually, we're expected to get 40 tonight. Thursday down in the 20s, 29 degrees. Lisa, I would be so happy to send you some cooler air. And as the winter starts closing in on us, we'll offer that much more often, right, Jean? Brooks is here from Mount Vernon, Washington. Welcome. Here is, I put this guy up here first because it's my favorite design. Okay, and this is using, I'm going to show you which one. It is using this template, which you can't see against that white background. It's using this template, and it's going around twice on 8 rotations, and we flip it. We do 8 rotations like this, then come back and do 8 rotations like that. This is going to be the first one we do. Not only is it my favorite, I think it's the most stunning of the designs that we will do on here. Oh gosh, guys. And there are so many different things you can do by flipping over. Here we've got one going in one direction, one going in the other direction, and here we've got it going in both directions. This is so beautiful and simple. What a great flower design that is. And that is 8 rotations all going in the same direction. So we're going to have a lot of fun here. We've got 16 rotations all going in the same direction as well. And that you'll see how different that look is. And look at the adorable, cute bow we can make. If you're doing a little girl quilt, this is just definitely the sweetest bow you can do on it. So let me come on over back to my other camera here. Oh, I'm so glad these cameras are working right tonight. I'm just thrilled. Have no idea what happened last week, but we got through it, didn't we? Okay, Marcy is here from Spring, Texas. Hi, Marcy. Here we go. Let's take a look. I want to stack these guys up because I want you to see just how big this one is. And then this is our 11.5 inch. This is an 8.5 inch. Now, when you see this stitched out, it's going to look quite sizable, even though it's an 8.5 inch. And then we have the little baby, and that is 5.5 inches. These, I'd like to, maybe we'll have time tonight to stack them one on top of the other. And then we also have with this set this beautiful wreath. And the wreath is 11.5 inches, gives us lots of room to do some things on the center, maybe one of those pretty bows. And I'm hoping we're going to get to that this evening as well. The thing is, with these templates, there's so much you can do that it's hard to do them all in an hour. Now, all of these templates do work on a tack, okay? So we want to get that going first. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you guys the link to this set. We also have on this set a 1/2 inch and a 1/4 inch circle. I talked about that sometime last week. I don't remember when, but what I have found, and I've not really been comfortable doing small circles until I figured out that I need to relax my hands. I was holding on with a death grip because I was scared of the template. I was scared that I wasn't going to get it right. Once I relaxed on these circles, it became just so much easier to do. And what happened was my circles look so much better. And that's always a good thing. I'm happy when that happens. Okay, so what we have here is we have A to B. Okay, it's going to give us a round circle in the center. So let's go ahead and get started with this guy. We're going to start at A, and I want to line up. I want to show you some lines before we get started. I've got a line here, a line here. Beautiful lines. One at the vertical center also, which comes down here to the bottom of the template. And then we have the horizontal crosshair right here. So we've got plenty of different lines that are going to help us make sure that we are successful in this bid. Okay, here we go. And I do have my 301 back out. You guys know how much I absolutely adore this machine. And it was fun having the big one out here to play with. But I've got it in the other room. I can play with it at any time. So for ruler work, this is, I think, always going to be my favorite machine. Okay, so we're gonna come around. This is all an inside curve, but you'll notice we have a couple ledges here to be careful of. And we can't fall off of them if we don't slow down. Now, what I wanna see here, okay, just wanted to see if we had any newcomers because I don't wanna miss anybody. I love to say hello to everyone. Also, stable tape on these should be on both sides because we are going to do a lot of flipping around tonight. First, stitch in place, and then we're gonna come around. I'm making my stitches just a little bit shorter. And here's the first of those 2 cliffs I told you about. Just slow down going around them. Here's the second one. The second one's a little sharper, but just slow down and don't try to push anything. Remember, it's not a good idea to push your template against your foot or your foot against the template. Okay, I'm going to stop and I'm going to cut my tails off here. There we go. And you know what? I didn't set my foot. My foot is loose and I can't imagine why because I didn't tighten it. Operator error. Okay, with my little 301, the pin right here always gives me grief. It hits the top of the machine right here. So what I like to do is I like to come around, lift up the foot a little bit, come around and make sure that my tag is on the left side. I still can see everything. I know where I'm going. And we're going to come down to the center, just like this. You see how beautiful that closes in right here? Now we're going to come back to B. Take your time. We don't need to rush it. When we rush things is when we make mistakes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop when I get on my reference line number 2, and then I'm lined up with B. Well, Linda Lombardo, my Michigander buddy, how are you? Oh, here, Joyce is here too. You're watching and cooking dinner at the same time. Boy, Joyce, you're much better person than I am because I make my husband take me out when I do lives. I can't prepare and do dinner too. Okay, gonna be a lot of water drinking tonight, guys. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, twist my template. When I twist my template, what should happen is I'm going to come 2 lines. So I've done line 1, we're going to skip line 2, and we're going to end up on line 3. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring us right to our A. So we're going to go around here in each direction 2 times. Okay? Again, take it nice and easy. When we first take office, I consider that a critical time. Okay? Not that stitching templates is critical, but yes, it is, especially if we've got weeks and months and sometimes years that we've been working on our quilts and now it's time to quilt them. So that's one of the reasons I want you to just take your time. It's okay. You're fine. Okay, again, I'm going to put my needle down. I'm going to turn so that the tack is on the left side. Again, you don't always have to do this. I have to do it because my 301 is it's a short shank machine and it's quite small. Okay, so now we're going to come back up to B. We're going to stop right there and we're going to skip one and go on the next line. And we're going to repeat. You can see how beautiful this is coming together. Remember to put your staple tape under where your fingers are going to be. And quite honestly, I can tell from this staple tape, from holding my template, that it's time to change this staple tape. I have used these templates quite often, and my staple tape is getting kind of smooshed. One of my technical terms, smooshed. You like that? Kind of goes along with cattywampus and all of that other stuff. Okay, here we go. We're gonna come around. Now, you'll notice the further we get that we don't have to go all the way to the bottom of this template because what happens is we join it basically almost where we started. So we're going to come back up to B and stop here and make that 2 lines. And around we're going to go. I'm going to try and speed things up a little bit. This is one of the advantages to filming beforehand. We can edit our tape so that we can speed things up and not bore you with the same rotations over and over and over again. Okay, gonna go ahead and turn it here. I think I like turning it there because it looks like you've got a real good vantage point when I do. Okay, we're gonna come all the way down. And this time we're gonna make sure that we meet. Now, when I'm doing this, I am hugging this area right here. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, from the bottom of my template, come over one line and fill in those extras. Okay. And if you want to go to the bottom of the template each time, you certainly can. And then you can go from one line to the next. I choose to do the 2 lines because I don't like that heavy stitching on the center. I like to keep that as light as possible. And by skipping every other reference line, it tends to do that. Okay, we can stop now right on the line, right at B. I'm going to make sure my needle is down. Now what I can do is I can just go ahead and turn it. I don't have to worry about stitching on that center anymore. So here we go. Start at A, come up and around. And I am going to take this out when we get 8 rotations so you can see. It's a beautiful, clean, whoops, design came off there a little bit. That's okay. I wasn't paying attention. If this were a project like the ribbons and bows quilt that I showed you, what I would do is I would cut the thread here, pull it out to here, and redo just that section. Just because we make a mistake, we don't have to restitch, pick out the entire rotation and restitch it. The key here to make that really possible is that we have a tack in. So as long as that tack stays where it is, we're going to be fine. We're going to be sure that we're getting back in the same spot, and we're not going to have any problems matching up. I can't tell you how many times I've had to do that. I haven't kept count, and that's probably a good idea because if I did, I'd probably cry. I make more mistakes than the average bear. Okay, and around we're gonna go. Again, not pushing, but we wanna hug that template. It's kind of like goes along with our foot just kissing the top of our fabric, right? We got kisses and we got hugs going on here. And I'm going to come down to that circle and stop with my needle down. And I've got one more to do. Here we go. I am keeping my stitch length just a little shorter. I'm going to move this because it's more comfortable here. Having it here, what's going on is this backhand is stretching, and we don't want that. We want to keep everything flat and relaxed. It's going to give us much better results. Oh, beautiful. Don't fall off that cliff. How do I know that's something you have to tell yourself each time you go over it? It could be from the dozens of times I have fallen off and had to pick out stitches. That's never fun. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift my foot up, use my needle channel. I'm not going to take it out because I'm just going to rotate, flip over. I'm going to flip my template and put it back on. But I wanted you to see the pretty flower that this makes with just 8 rotations. Let's see who else has come in here. Mary Lou Irish. Well, Rita. Good morning. Rita's here from, oops, wrong one. Rita's here from Victoria, Australia. She is in the process of moving her house. All the furniture's been picked up, and we are at a friend's house for a couple of days. Rita, that's kind of a good thing about moving, isn't it? You get to spend time with friends. And Mary Lou from Western New York, hello. And whoops, there we go. And there we got Diane from Columbus, Georgia. Welcome, Diane. And my friend Ronnie is here from northeastern Arizona. Just finished quilting. Yay! That's always a good thing to do. We had our quilting class today. So, yep, I quilted all day. Oh, well, Jan, awesome. Jan says that she's ordered them. She wants to beat the rush. Her problem now is her targeted project will have to be on hold until they get here. That's the worst part, isn't it, Jan? Oh, Well, hi, Linda. Linda is from Northwest Pennsylvania and hopped on after watching a different video. Well, good. I hope it was a So Steady video, Linda. We're always happy when people are watching us. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over uh, the other way. So now I have A towards me, B against me. Okay, be on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and put everything back in the needle channel here. Love the needle channels, guys. Absolutely love them. Okay, we're going to go ahead and line this up. And I'm just going to back, I'm going to back up. I'm going to go forward, I'm sorry, to A. And remember, I'm going to hug this part of the template, or I could just move it to the, there we go. Now we're at A. I just moved it. Okay. And I'm going to take a few stitches here. Well, I would if I could. Okay. Let me go ahead and move this around a little bit. And come to A, which is right here. That's lined up with my arrow. And now we're going to do the same thing in the opposite direction. And this makes the coolest secondary designs. And you know, I'm all about those secondary designs. I love them. Absolutely love them. And when we start out with new templates, I hope that you take a piece of paper. You know, I find 12 by 12 inch scrapbooking, is it scrapbooking paper? Works really well when we want to just take a look at how things are going to look, because our biggest designs are usually 11.5 inches. Whoops, I went a little far. That's okay. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this again, and I'm back at A. So the 12.5 or 12-inch by 12-inch paper works as a real good option for testing out our drawing designs. And it doesn't have to be white paper. It can be any colored paper. Just use an ink or a pencil or pen that's darker than the paper you're working on. And that will work every time. My suggestion, though, don't get the textured stuff. Ask me how I know that. I did. It doesn't work real great. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to stop here at B. We're going to come back, and now we are at A again. Well, almost. I didn't go quite far enough. So here we go. Going to come down a few more stitches. There. Now I've got myself where I need to be. Smaller stitches always will make a curve look smoother. If we get too big of stitches, it's going to look choppy on us. Okay. Go. Here we are. Couple more stitches. There. Now I'm on my A. I don't know why I'm stopping short each time. Probably because I'm trying to rush a little bit. got some other things that I want to show you. I think what we'll do is we'll just go around half of this for now. We can always come back and finish it later. I'll leave the tack in it, but that way we won't, hopefully won't run out of time. And we're gonna come down to B and back over to A. Oh gosh, guys, I went the wrong way because I'm gonna stop on the line. There we go. Okay. I'm going backwards. I forget I'm going backwards. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that actually is half of it. So this is going to give us a great comparison to how 4 looks as opposed to 8. And as I said, I'm going to go ahead and leave that tack in there. I got this really dark thread here. There we go. Okay, so show of hands. Who likes the double? Here's the double. And who likes the single better? Okay. And would this work on a Dresden plate? And that's a real good question. And I think it would if you used the small one. It's pretty wide, so you'd have to have like a 8-point or 10-point, yeah, probably an 8-point Dresden. And I do know you can make 8-point Dresdens. You can make them anywhere you want from 6 up to 20 points. Oh goodness, it looks like the single is beating out the double, but Rita likes them both. And that's good. That's okay too. Okay, next thing I want to show you is how to make that gorgeous bow. And we're going to make that out of a smaller template this time. I've got a whole bunch of different quilt squares, practice squares. Ah, Carla likes them both too. Okay. Again, these all work on a tack or a pin. Now, a lot of people, we use the verbiage to poke a hole in your fabric. When we say that, we are not literally poking a hole because we are not breaking the threads of the fabric. This is a woven fabric, quilting cotton. And what's happening when we put this tack through it is it's pushing those fibers aside. So when we take that tack out, we can just kind of smoosh it back and forth with your fingers and it comes back together perfectly. It's not a problem. Okay, so on this, what we're going to do is we're going to have this circle is going to go all the way around. So when that happens, what I like to do is do the circle all the way around. Because then when we're moving from one area to the next, we know we are in the right spot. Spin effects is always something that is that I really, really suggest doing this on because some of them move easily, some of them take a little more effort. And where we are going to go with this, we're going to go right here. So I've got 16 reference lines. You guys know that I normally do put out 16 reference lines because that's just me. Okay. These are almost all designed to work with 8-point reference lines. That doesn't mean you can't use 16 because you certainly can. Okay. And I'm going to show you where we used 16 here shortly. All right. So to make that circle in the center, and the reason I think it's really important around this one is because we're not going to be doing petals or bows all the way around. Okay. So I'll pull my thread up. You'll notice I've got 2 different color threads in my machine. That's because I'm using up bobbins, Janice. And I know I'll be okay tonight. So, yeah, I like to use up odd colors that I don't have a project in mind quickly for. So I'm going to just go ahead, take a stitch in place. I'm going to come around. Now you're going to know that you can only go so far and stay on that circle. So I'm going to stop and I'm going to rotate my template so you can see, and I'm going to continue going. This is not going to give you a misshapen circle. You're going to be fine with it. Make sure your needle is in the down position. If you have a machine that allows you the luxury of using the needle up, needle down function, please use it. It makes your life so much easier. And we have these tools, so we should really use them to our benefit. Okay, and we're going to come a little bit around here. Now I'm going to get rid of the threads. Get rid of the threads. I can always hear my mother, get those threads snipped off of there. she, she did not like us leaving threads. They get stuck in your stitches and then they're hard to take out. So it is a habit that has stayed with me. Okay. Yep. All righty. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at this right here being number 1. This is going to be our reference line number 1. Comes all the way back up here. I'm going to put my first rotation. We're going to have 8 rotations for this. Even though I've got 16, we're only going to use 8. So I'm going to put my first bow pointing towards me, the down part, the part that's going to dip below on reference line number 2. And I'm going to come around to A. There we go. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to come up, keeping those stitches shorter, taking your time. Now you will see right here, I'm actually off of the fabric. I'm not going to worry too much because it's mostly on the fabric, but if it were further off, I would take a piece of scrap fabric and I would just put it under there so that I had something to hold on to. And I'm getting really close to the edge here, guys. I probably should have started in a different place. But this is good for you to see how we handle things like that. What I'm doing here is I'm just using my scissors. I could use a stiletto as well, or a seam ripper. I'm just making sure that this fabric stays put and doesn't get bunched up like that. Okay, so now I'm well back within the parameters of, easily being able to stitch without worrying about that. Okay, so what I'm going to do, oops, I'm going to come down, and this is the next reference line, and I'm going to go ahead and turn my template. Remember, we're going backwards here because we have A here, B here, which is opposite of how we had it up on the first one. So I'm just going to follow that circle. I'm going to tighten my foot because you all know this one makes me tighten it every once in a while. And we're going to go around again. And this will be the second one. We're going to make 3 rotations in this orientation. Almost had it that time. I thought maybe it was going to work out, but it doesn't always work out. That's okay. So now I'm going to stop at my next reference line, stitch over to A, stop there, and make my 3rd rotation. This is just, I don't know how Leonie West and Donna and Danelle and Sarah Diddy. I have no idea how they come up with these designs, and they work. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip the next rotation, and I'm going to come all the way over here. When I say that, I know that I've got more lines in here, but we are pretending that we're working on 8 rotations. So here's number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Now we're going to come all the way over to number 6. Here's number 5, and we're going to come all the way to 6. So we can use our template, stitch all the way over to that reference line, and stop with our needle down. Okay. Now I'm going to take my template off, and I'm going to flip it over and put the template back on. And put it back on the pin. There we go. So remember, we're skipping reference line number 5, and we're going to reference line number 6. So we want to put our vertical center line on 6. And I'm going to stitch back to A. There we go. And here is our second set of 3 rotations. Okay. You know, I could easily see this made on a ribbon to um, tie up a package for a little girl. Okay, I forgot to turn myself. Here we go. No big deal. See, there's always a way to fix it. Everything is fixable, right, guys? Let's stop here. Now we're going to go, that's 5, and here is 6. 7. I'm sorry. Okay, we're gonna count these again. This is why I usually mark them because I get confused easily, right? Okay. Again, this is gonna come up as a single rotation look. The design is gonna be that of a single rotation, not a double, which is what we just did. We did half a single, half a double. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and move it on up to the next rotation line, and we are already at A, and we're going to make our last rotation for our bow. Okay, there we go. I just got I made it around there without any problems, but I had to kind of move it funny a little bit for me, kind of funny. And there we go. We've got our bow finished. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clip off my threads, and then I'm going to take my tack out, and then I'm going to show it to you guys. Okay, what do you think of that? Is that the sweetest bow you've ever seen? I absolutely love this bow. It just is enough to say it's there, but it's not in your face. It really is adorable. So the next one that I want to do for you is I'm going to pull it over here. Okay. Well, if I can find it. This one right here. Now, this one is done again, 8 points, but it's done out further. And what happens as it's done out further, and I got to remember exactly how I did it. Yeah, I might mess it up. I don't want to mess it up. By the way, guys, there is a book. Oh, Deb, you're right. That would be a great butterfly as well. Absolutely. Now, I'm going to go back here because there is a ribbon and bows book. There is a ribbon and bows class on the university taught by Donna. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you guys the link for this one. I'm going to go ahead and paste that. Okay. And we're going to go back here. I can only I can only keep one thing copied at a time. So there we go. Oh, Quilter Lady Teacher, hi, it's so good to see you. It's okay. Joining late is fine. I don't ever take attendance, and if I do, you have permission to come up here and or get angry with me. Oh, Digital Designs by PJ is here from Southwest Ohio. Oh, I love Ohio. Okay, I'm sorry I missed you back there a little bit. But yeah, it is a very pretty design. It's very feminine. I definitely would not use this on a guy's quilt. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch cameras. Okay, let's do this one next. And let's do this one with the same template that we just used, only because it's going to make it a lot easier to turn around on our space. Okay, so we're using 4 reference lines, and we are going to turn our template on each one. So let me go back here to the other camera. There we go. Yay, I did it. I love it when a plan comes to fruition, don't you? Now, the reason that I do 16 reference lines before we get started is because I don't want you to have to sit here and watch me draw reference lines. To me, that just would be totally boring. Okay, so here we go. We're going to use only 4 reference lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We're gonna, again, this inside center circle is going to be put in there. Now, my question is, I was gonna check this before. Oh, wrong size. Okay. I just thought if that was the same size, I'd go ahead, put the circle in first, and then do the rotations. Pull that bobbin thread up. Do y'all know why we pull that bobbin thread up? Pop quiz. Let's see if anybody gets that one right. I'm sure everybody's going to get that right. Oh, Deb. Ah, very nice. She said the last one looks like an angel. Okay, Mary Lou Irish. We are using the ribbons and bows templates tonight, and here is our link to them. No bird nest. Right, Carla got it. She was the first one. By pulling these up, we do not get a bird's nest in the back of our quilt. And remember, guys, we're doing this quilt on both sides. We have fabric, we have the back side of our fabric, we have our batting, and then we have the top side of our fabric. And so we want that back to be as pretty as that front. And hauling up those threads from way back behind here is going to really help us do that. Okay. Take it easy around those drop offs. I'm going to leave that down. Oh, turned it a little bit. That's okay. We can realign it. Get rid of those stragglers. Okay, there we go. Got it back to where it needs to be. Now we have 2 options available to us. What we can do is we can come around here and we can come back here. We can go to our next rotation here. And we could do that all the way around. But if you don't want to, you can actually take your template off, flip it, stitch it, and then start going around. I'm going to go all the way around because it's easier. Flipping the template on every line to me or on every rotation to me is cumbersome. So, I'm going to take the easy way out, guys. Okay. I know I'm a slacker. You don't have to tell me. I really should have put the other foot back on. The new feet, I don't have to keep tightening my foot. I love the new foot. Ken does too. He was going to steal mine. I told him, you touch it, I'll break your arm. I did get him one though. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to come back all the way to B. Oops, went a couple stitches too far, and then we're going to rotate again. And then we're going to come around. There isn't a design that I have made or seen made with these templates that I don't like. I definitely like them all. And now we're going to put our fourth one in. And what I'm going to do, you see this? Every time I take my eyes away from that template, I get off of it. And I did just now. I'm trying to anticipate where I'm going to go next. There we go. Okay, I'm going to pull my foot up. Remember especially with this machine, you can't have the foot up and start stitching because the needle bar is going to crash into the foot. I can go ahead and bring my foot up knowing I have enough clearance when my machine is not working. Okay, but once it starts stitching, that clearance just goes away. What? Oh, there it is. Okay. Duh. That was an easy fix. I had my fabric caught up here. I thought it was my thread. Okay. So now what I want to do is I have flipped foot, my template around, and I'm going to stitch a rotation on the same reference lines. Okay. So I'm going to come over here to 1 or to A. I'm sorry. I guess A could be 1. It's the first letter of the alphabet. And here we go. And we're going to go. Now, if you had a square block, this would really be cool to put on point for your square block. Okay, I'm going to stitch over to the next reference line. And now I'm going to go ahead and twist my template, stitch over to A, and now we're going to make that next rotation. Well, goodness, for some reason my foot's getting heavy. Oh, goodness. Come over to the next reference line that we're going to stitch. Now you could do some really unique and fun borders with this as well. And seriously, the book has so many different things to teach you that a lot more than I can do here within an hour's time. And I would recommend everyone to make the ribbons and bows. It's really more of a wall hanging. It's not huge. It's not cumbersome. And you will learn a lot by doing it. We got one more to do here, guys. I want to get over to that reference line. There we go. Needle down. Now we're going to stitch over to A. There we go. Now we can go ahead and stitch up and stitch our rotation. And this is the completion of this design. What do you think of this one? It's definitely different. And like I said, I think this would look great on a square if the square was put in on, if the design was put in on point. Now, some of you may be wondering, what does that mean, right? So what that means is that, here, I'll use this guy here, is that the square would go in. Okay. So this is how the square would be. And this is not going to be a real square, guys, because, yeah, I don't have a ruler. I'm just doing the best I can with what I got to work here. So this is the square. Okay. So the square, when they say it's on point, you see here's the points of the square are actually going to be north and south and east and west. Normally, we think of a quilting square in this orientation, but it's really cool to come up with designs that we can do it on point. It will always, if you're doing squares on point, it's always going to add more visual interest. Linda Lombardo's got it right too. No bird nests. Okay, Rita, thank you for coming. Oh, taking sister-in-law out for lunch. How nice of you. That's awesome. Totally awesome. And yes, Debbie, they are very pretty designs. Every one of them is pretty. I haven't, like I said, there's not a one that I really don't like. Um, Yes, Jan's got a real good comment here. She says, "I like it. It is simple. Sometimes if my material is busy, she doesn't like it on point." So, here's the different things that you have to look at and take into consideration. Thank you, Jan, for sharing that with us. Oh, Linda, you are so welcome. I wish I had another hour, guys, because we could do so many more designs. But again, take a look at Donna's class. Take a look at the book. You can get a whole lot of instruction out of the book as well as the class. Nothing beats a class, though, right? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I want to thank you for giving me a part of your day. That means a whole lot to me. Tomorrow evening, we are going to continue Circles on Quilts, Spinning Wheel 34 and 35. And then we've got Spinning Wheel 36, and I think we move on. Finally, right? I was beginning to think we were never going to get done with spinning wheels. I'm sure we'll have something else that's spinning. Oh, I love it. And of course, then Wednesday morning, we're here and we're going to be doing the hexagon Wednesday morning. I want you to think about something because I'm going to show it to you Wednesday. Have you ever thought of doing clamshells with hexagons? I'm going to show you how to do that Wednesday morning. Oh, you guys are so welcome. You are so welcome. So I hope we get to see you tomorrow night, Wednesday morning. And just remember, until we meet again, let's quilt.